Hello and welcome to Outlaws of Thunder Junction, and we have a pretty darn good first pick here. Collector's Cage is just a very good limited card. Even without the hideaway ability, this would be a strong card because unlike some other effects that add counters to creatures, this can be used as instant speed, not only as a sorcery, so this makes combat very difficult for the opponent to deal with. In addition to just you keep getting to keep adding counters to your creatures, making them bigger and bigger. But of course, you get the hideaway trigger out of this, and it's fairly easy to get the 3 creatures with different powers thanks to this own ability, and you get the free spell as well. Oh, that's great. And also, it is it is my fourth of this card, and while I probably have already published a video where I complete the set, when I'm recording this video I haven't really completed the set, as you can see, so this is actually important in me getting the big score set filled. But yeah, this would be the first pick no matter what. That was the best card in the pack, so it's an easy pick. Here though, well, Make Your Own Luck is of course a very nice card, but I'm not going to take it here when I first pick a white card. Of course, you can fit them in the same deck easily, but there are good black options here. And now the question is Blood Hustler actually better than Karawek? This is good when you have a lot of black cards, and of course a reasonable amount of ways to commit crimes, ideally very cheaply, like with these lands. But this only works with black cards. It works also with permanent cards. Of course, you get a token copy of it. But I have found that this Blood Hustler is just actually a really good 2-drop, and it's very easy to grow it. And the Foreman ability can also help getting there in the long run. So I'd like this better than the Karawek, at least in this kind of a situation where I don't really know what I'm having. Of course, in a pack 3 situation, if I already have a lot of crime committing cards and black cards in general, the Karawek might be better option in that case. Alright, Ariat is mostly a life linking 4/4. The other ability is not really that good. Yeah, it is not that good in limited. This town ain't big enough. Is good. There's a trashed town. I don't think I'm taking a white or a black card, so I mean, I guess I could have a 4-mana 4/4 lifelinker. It's not an embarrassing card, but I don't think it's really worth playing 3 colors, so I'm gonna take the trashed town, which I like quite a bit. Another area. It actually would be funny if I took it. I mean, I could just take another one here and maybe even try to get some auras, but yeah, I mean, I guess you could try to do something with the ability, but let's not focus on that. I'm not picking it. There are good options for me. Desert Stew, Patient Naturalist, and Dance of the Tumbleweeds are all good options. There's no white card here other than the three colored one. Metamorphic Blast. Yeah, I'm not taking these blue cards. I could just take the Desert Stew, because I'm not sure if green will be open. Black is more likely to be open. Okay, I'm taking the Desert Stew. I could take the Dance or the Naturalist also, but I've made up my mind. Alright. There's only one green card. It's not very good, but there's a good black and a good white card here. The Mourner's Surprise I would usually take over the Negotiation, although this does commit a crime which matters for the Blood Hustler, of course, but I'm taking the Prosperity Tycoon. I would be happy to just be a black and white deck as well. But yeah, I like the Tycoon. I think it's a really nice card. Tarnation Vista. Okay, I do have a playset of those. That doesn't mean it's not a playable card, because it is, mana fixing land. But there's a Baron Bertram. It is not even a desert, by the way. It's from the big score list, so it doesn't help with the Desert's Due. I'll take the Baron Bertram over the other options. I think this is a quite nice card, especially it seems like I can be white and black. Yeah, let's cut the Trash the Town, because it's pretty obvious that this pack also will feature a white pick for me. Raven of Fell Omens I would be happy about, but Mystical Tether is the best card here for me, so I'm taking that, and I can take the Desperate. A Bloodseeker also, it does commit a crime, which can be nice. Don't think I need the Archway. I'll take the bonus surprise. Okay, the Buzzards I don't like, but I don't like the Sheriff of Safe Passages either. Both can be plotted for 2. I think I like the flyer more than the creature. That can be just a 1/1. Sometimes, rarely, it can be like a 4/4 or 5/5, but that's later in the game. It's not early. Not gonna be big early. So I'm taking this card. And Tornado, Black Snug, Buzzard. I don't like these that much. I'm taking the uncommon. There's still a chance I will be green, and Tornado is totally fine sideboard card for sure. I don't think I'm playing 2 Buzzards, and this is one of the first cards to cut when I start getting enough playables. Alright, Corrupted Conviction. Playable. Usually not very high priority, but of course that was pick 12. You don't get very good cards often at pick number 12. Okay, let's take the on-color card and basic land. How about the mana curve? 1, 2 mana creatures, 1, 2 mana removal, and then the Collector's Cage, which is a totally acceptable turn to play if there's nothing else. Here, I like the Frontier Seeker, the Mystical Tether, the Vault Plunderer. Pariah, not so much. And I will be sticking to black and white unless there's like a really, really good reason to take something else. Yeah, the Mystical Tether is probably the peak. It's just good removal. Can't really go wrong with that. And this set, in this set and draft environment, removal is important. There are so many creatures you just have to kill, otherwise the opponent, wins on the spot, basically. Well, not basically, but kind of. Alright. I do have a playset of Girets. There's a Mobile Homestead, there's an Eretus, a Lullaby, Wanted Griffin, the Ambush, Gigapede. Well, to be honest, I don't like any of these. I don't even have any white mounts yet. Yeah, the flyer is not even that amazing. I have a couple of 4-drops already. This is not a high priority. And this is not very interesting either. I'm actually taking this for greed, 40 gems from a pack that doesn't really have stuff I'm interested in. I will take the Desert Stew here, and I hope to get some deserts to make this better. I have 2 of them already. Raven of Fell Omens, Outlaw Medic, and of course there's one last job which is not very amazing if you don't have mounts. The aura or equipment part can do something, but rarely does. Oh, this of course can return vehicles, but there are not that many of them. I did pass the 2 mana vehicle. Anyway, I will take the Raven here and take up the shield versus pretty much nothing of interest, so let's take it. And okay, the Requisitioner rate is okay. This is not so much of a good card. I like this. It's main deckable even, and definitely good from the sideboard if nothing else. These are not such important things that I can just take the white card. This is the 3rd area I'm seeing. Also, there's nothing for my color slot, so let's take 20 gems. I don't think I'm gonna splash for it, but I take 20 gems and I'm happy with that. I have removal, I have a mana curve. Seems like I'm lacking a bit, but let's find something good maybe still. Alright, there's a 40 gems and there's a Lively Dirge, which can get me like a Blood Hustler. Yeah, I think I'll take the Dirge now. I like it more than the Assassin here. I can get some good 2-drops or some great 4-drops to fetch too, maybe. Alright, it's time to take something like the Big Horn here over, greedy 20 gems pick. Well, nothing for me here. Another Corrupted Conviction. I don't think I'm gonna play that many of them. I'll just take the red uncommon. Outlaw Medic. No, it's a card I can actually sack for one of these convictions, which I seem to be getting a lot. Oh, the Gitrog Ravenous Ride. Now that is a splashable card. It's a great, great card. Now this pack has some good options for me. There's like a couple of deserts which are gonna matter for the deserts due. The Bloodseeker is of course fine. Humiliate is okay-ish. The Contractor and the Shepherd especially are good cards. But am I gonna go for the splash of green? I have nothing to fix my mana. I actually don't think I wanna go there. I'm taking the 5-drop here that returns me a creature. And then immediately I get a land that would have helped with the splash. But since I didn't take it, it's kinda too late now. I guess I could take the Binding Negotiation or the Lullaby here. I'm not that big fan of the Lullaby. No desert either. It would be a Snap Blooming Marsh if I took the Gitrog thing there. I would have taken it, but the Shepherd is also a totally nice 5-drop. Okay, I think I'll take the Negotiation. This is a good one, but I don't have red or blue in the deck, so not so much of a pickable card. I will take the Shoot the Sheriff. Well, I have a couple of these and I don't even have any deserts, so these are not that great here. Shoot the Sheriff is good. Removal in most situations. Mind Break, Trap, I have a play set of them. I don't think I care about anything here though. I think I'll take 40 gems. This can be a sideboard card, but it's not that often when you really need to sideboard it in. I'll take these gems. The more gems you pick, the better outcome you have results wise. I have another shot at the Carbeck here. There's also Trained Arings, which I would be happy about, and the Fierce Retribution is not bad. I have here 13 black cards, so and some means to commit crimes, so and some cheap black cards, so it's worth picking the Carbeck here, but I would be very happy about the Trained Arings here. It's a shame I have no deserts here that ping, because they would be important, but it's pretty clear now that people are focusing a lot on those deserts. I have only 11 creatures, so I think I should take the creature over the Skullduggery here. Okay, another Bertram. I think I'll play 2 of these. I don't know if I have many tokens entering my control, but I guess I can combine it with the big horn here. Yeah, let's take this. Of course, you can just sack creatures for cards. That is also nice. Here I can take the only. I'm happy about this card. I think it's quite good, and it's the only card for my colors, so easy choice there. Excuse me. Contractor or the Griffin. Not sure how much of kind of a fodder to eat I have, but you can eat it. So I'm gonna do this anyway. And there's a 5-drop, which I could play. Yeah, I didn't really get anything too amazing here. And the lack of deserts is a bit annoying. I'm not sure how good the Rakish crew will be here. Probably not that great, but I'm not playing this locomotive either, or another copy of that thing. Right. And that's that. Alright. I'm not playing double muscle, one will be enough. I don't like the buzzer too much. The Rakish crew. So how many outlaws do I have currently? 16 creatures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 I think. So that's not a lot. It's not worth playing the card. Any easy cuts? I think the Corrupted Convictions, I can cut at least one right away. Probably 2. I have, yeah, because I have this unscrupulous contractor to feed some of my fodder to draw cards, so I'm going to cut the conviction too, and I'm not playing the armadillo, at least not in the main deck. And then we have here the dirge. The dirge can get one of these 4-drops, not that exciting necessarily. It can get me like a Carwick. I don't have any 1-drops now that I cut the armadillo, so if I bring back a 3-drop, that's all I'm gonna get with it. Or I can get 2 1-drops, sorry, 2 2-drops. There's not really like a bomb rare or anything here. So it's like maybe a little bit too cute to be played now. This doesn't commit a crime either, so I'm going to cut that. The creature count is 15 right now. How about the curve with the creatures? That's 5 2-drops. I do play all of these creatures. I don't know about the buzzard. I think I can cut a buzzard here. I just don't like it too much. That's 25 now. I probably will play the muscle. A couple of 5-drops here is fine. The mana surprise is... The good part about this is that you can utilize the 1/1 with the Contractor or the Baron Bertram, which also synergizes with making it. You get the extra Vampire Rogue, so it's definitely worth playing. But I'm not playing 15 lands, so something has to be cut. It could be the Requisition Raid from the main deck. It could be the Negotiation. How many crime payoffs I have? Like there's a Carbeck, of course, pretty huge one. The Apothecary is nice. And the Hustler and the Raven work too. Of course, the Muscle cares about crimes being committed. Now you can actually commit a crime with the raid if the opponent has something to destroy, or if you really need to, you can target them for the counters, but usually you don't want to do that, of course. But if they have like 1 creature and you really want to trigger Carwick, you can do it. Give them a counter. Alright, I don't really know. I will want to play the Skulldugger. It usually does nice stuff, and it's a cheap way to commit a crime which matters for stuff like Carwick. Maybe then Binding Negotiation is the card I'm gonna cut in the end. I like Take Up the Shield a little bit too much to not play it. The deserts they are not that great without any deserts, but I think I like it more than the Binding Negotiation, at least against an unknown opponent. So let's cut that, and that's 24. I think I will be playing maybe just a 16 lands, because a lot of these cards can be just cast with. Even this is gonna be like 2 or 3 mana spell most of the time. So 3 lands will be enough for quite some time. Now I do have 6 cards that require at least 4. So I could see 16 being a bit low, but I don't have a lot of extra cards, so I also don't want to flood out too much. Yeah, the best card in the deck by a mile is the Collector's Cage. Nothing else is really that great here. Carbeck can do something, but it's not always going to be able to achieve much. It really is a pretty situational card. Yeah, I don't think I want to cut anything. So I'll play 16 lands, just basics, there's no other kind of lands in here. Right. Okay. If I play against decks that have good targets for the -2/-2, then it's okay. I guess I will just sideboard out the Desert's Due when it's not gonna do much. I can play like a Buzzard, Binding Negotiation, for instance, in its place. But yeah, let's just have a pretty even mix of lands, 8+8. That's gonna work. Not great. I wanted to have some deserts for crime committing, but all the deserts were really snatched during the draft. Not many of them went that far on in the table. I know this is like a little bit of a random thing, but I still have a lot of, well, not a lot, but some number of cheap creatures. Giving a counter to all of them can matter. Yeah, I'm gonna start with this thing in the main deck. There are also a lot of these, white decks can have Mystical Tether or Journey to Oblivion or whatever. There are all kind of enchantment-based removal, and sometimes you get an artifact other than a treasure token as well. So I'm gonna play this in the main, and that's the deck. Wow. Well, the opponent does mulligan, so do I. Of course, this would be pretty fine with the swamp in place of one of these planes, but I'm not gonna gamble. I'm gonna gamble with this though. With these two removals, I don't need the Desert's Due here. I'd rather have access to one creature if I just could draw the swamp at some point. But yeah, this is of course 8/8 mana base. Not always the most reliable one, but a little annoying that I get two triple planes starters in here. So they kept 6, yes. Alright, well, there's something to cast on turn 4 if I get one any land. Okay, they're gonna get their mulligan negated by this, most likely. And they get even an actual spell. Well, I got a swamp, but yeah, being on the draw here isn't greatest, because this doesn't do a great job of blocking, but I'm gonna get rid of the A-rings. There's not much else to do here. I'm not taking 5 on the next turn. I'm not gonna give them the scries either. I can play the Prosperity Tycoon, which allows me to have a blocker on the Seeker at least. Wingsmith is only 2 power, I'm not too concerned. Oh, okay. Get to get a 5-drop too, so it's not the worst now. So is this just white-black like I am playing? This could be just a... they don't necessarily need the blue for anything. If I had a Soured Springs, I would definitely play it because multiple cards in my deck would care about it. But they went into the tank now, so... If they attack with the Wingsmith, I think the Tycoon will block it. Yeah. Let's see what they have. Now that they attack with both, I mean, maybe it's possible they have a Skullduggery, of course, and they get a very good result out of it. But that wasn't a Skullduggery, and trading with the Seeker is totally fine here. So now I hope they don't have a counter spell, but of course I'm gonna play into it because this is too good to pass up on this turn. I still have the Tether here if I really, want to deal with the 3/5. Okay, they have their own Tether. This thing doesn't remove enchantments, it's only artifact or creature. Right. Well, I'm gonna play my creatures here. I won't play the land just in case they have some discard effect there. But my Requisition Raid is gonna be able to deal with the tether. That would be actually a nice draw if I drew that now, put counter on these things, free my muscle. That would be fantastic. Please don't remove any more of my guys. Well, I guess they only removed one so far. Well, they kind of removed another one by using this trick, but I didn't need to block it. I just chose to use their trick. Make them use it. They might also be thinking if they want to actually make this fly and not cast anything on their turn. If they have something at instant speed, maybe that would make sense. I don't think that guy flying is too important right now. Another Wingsmith. So they have those 2/4s. Okay, so I do think that my play here will be just tethering the another Wingsmith. Like that, and now I get some crimes here. I'm gonna give this guy lifelink. I don't mind them actually blocking necessarily. I think with me being at 12, lifelink is good here anyway. And then post-combat I can use the Contractor and probably eat the Raven. Especially if this trade happens. They might have another one of these. Take up the shields, which they do. So, they can make this guy fly. Alright, I'm gonna draw 2 cards. Not gonna plot or anything, just eat the Raven. It won't be doing that much here. And I'm getting back the Prosperity Tycoon, probably. Okay, now that flies. Can I get my Requisition Raid now? I'm gonna take the Tycoon here. But am I going to play it or them? They seem to have something. Yeah, I'm gonna play it. Hopefully it's not a counter spell, but I don't really have the luxury to play around it. Do I? If I had a crime in my hand, yes, then I would play the Vigilante, because I would attack for more damage on the next turn. But it's more flexible to play the Tycoon now. Just hope they don't have the counterspell. Yeah, there's not anything like that at least. This thing has lifelink, so there's like a... And it's actually not bad with these mercenaries. So playing these to, you know, help in the race situation would not be a bad idea. But, okay, alright, they didn't get the surveil there. So now, if they hit a pocket of lands... well, I think they have to take the medic, because the medic has lifelink. And with these mercenary tokens, it's not so great for them. But this thing has now 4 power, and that's... I don't know if I have any removal left in the deck. That will give me some amount of life. I might have to actually go for it right now. I don't like it, but I feel like I need to do it. 6 more life. Yeah, I won't be winning this race. If I had the Outlaw Medic, that would be a different story, of course. Oh, they just keep drawing spells too. Well, so did I, but their spells are now, of course, much better. Oh boy. That is... I had a removal spell left in the deck. Who would have thought? Let's see if they're gonna... This is actually 12 damage. if they don't block at all. Okay, I can't blame their top decks when I drew the one of the few actual good answers here. I'm killing the flyer, because even though this thing has vigilance, it's still better for them to have this guy that has only 3 power, and I can keep blocking this guy pretty easily while still having relevant attackers. And they actually drew a land now, and they didn't want to see how I would be attacking. I would be definitely attacking. Let's say they do nothing, attack for 3 because it has vigilance. I drew a land. I would just pump the vigilance and attack with both, of course, because if they have a trick, well, good for them, but if they don't, I will just win, so I would go there. Alright, so couple of Wingsmiths, couple of Take Up the Shields, there's a Consuming Ashes, which makes me want to actually play the Corrupted Conviction at 1 copy at least. Definitely the rate will be staying in the deck. Binding Negotiation can be actually quite okay against a Take Up the Shield when they are holding it, but there's the thing that I need to also, cut something. I don't know what to cut. I could see cutting the Mona Surprise here. Skullduggery, did they have? Maybe nothing too amazing. I mostly play it because it's a crime for the few things that care about it. So the Mona Surprise, I will cut that to make room for one of the Corrupted Convictions. It's good against their removal. But shall I play the Binding Negotiation? That's a different question. Yeah, okay. But come on. Surprise does combine well with the Contractor and the Baron Bertram, of course. Should I not play it? I mean, should I play it and maybe not play the Skullduggery after all? Okay, fine. Cut the Skullduggery, put the Surprise in. That's that. I'll keep it. I have both colors. Nothing to do before turn 5, but I mean, I'm supposed to draw something I can actually do. Yeah, I think this is gonna be a keep. I just need to draw something to do like on turn 3 latest. At least in this format, it doesn't always hurt to miss your 2-drop even on the draw. Unlike in some previous formats we had, where it was really important. They mulligan again, I will keep this. And they kept 6 cards. Not the best draw. I could use the second swamp at some point. Yeah, I won't be giving the Take Up the Shield to them, so I will just auto pass with Shift Enter. Okay, they have the mulligan again negated. Well, actually not quite, this didn't hit anything, but they get the Scry still. And they are on the play with a 3 power 2-drop, while I'm not doing anything on turn 2. Come on. Alright, well, that was exactly what I needed here. They have a 3rd basic land. I don't recall how they scryed, but I don't even know if they need a land or a non-land, so that maybe that information isn't important quite yet. Okay, well, there is the second swamp if I ever get my Carwack. Bertram sadly won't be returned by the Shepherd, but it's not like I can actually afford to. I mean, I guess I could pass and then have the Bertram with Corrupted Conviction backup on the next turn. It's not the worst idea, but it's also so slow. Then again, I'm not really playing this thing without a target to return. So actually I'm gonna hope that they don't have anything with instant speed, you know, add more pressure, because I can take the 2, and they did not. Good. So now they might have like a mystical tether of theirs, and I can then at least get some cards with the corrupted conviction. Alright, so I think that went well. That went good enough. Just don't counter it. Oh, with the 2/2 flyer, if that's what their blue splash is for. Jeez, that actually... I mean, on the previous turn, did they have 5 lands? Is this their blue? Okay. Yes, it is. Alright, well, I have to actually go for this now. I can still keep the corrupted conviction. If they have another one of those, I would have been pretty mad. Yeah, I didn't get anything back, but there was no way I can just, you know, take another 4 here without doing anything. Okay, so nothing at the end of my turn. But they're gonna have a consuming ashes, which I'm gonna counter in a way here. And the medic is very good against the seeker, and I can use the tether, of course, on the 2/2. So let's see if they have a creature to follow up. Alright, well that also works. I don't need to use the tether, which is much better. I'm going to actually do this though, because if they have a way to save their guy, I will need to use the tether in that case. And this is only 3 mana on my turn. This could be a take up the shield. So resolve that. And let's top deck. Let's top deck then. That's pretty perfect. Yeah. Let's attack for 1, gain 1 life point. Sack this guy. To draw 3 cards and lose 2 life, but I have the lifelink trick at least. Whatever they drew, it is something. They can, I mean, they have priorities here, so let's see what is it gonna be. Okay, desert's due. That was a very good set of 3 cards. That was very good. So, I'm going to return. I guess I could play this. No, I want to have mana up for my tricks, so I'm going to return the Sephet here, of course. That can bring back the Outlaw Medic. I could take the Baron, of course, but I think, although the Baron with the big horn is really nice as well. But this is 4 power of Flying Vigilance. Okay. I'm gonna take this because if I'm in a situation where the big horn can continuously make me more tokens, I will be in a good shape anyway. It's possible they just have a take up the shield in here. They have the failed fording. They get the surveil there. Nothing I can do about that. That is not too dangerous because I can actually now consider it just using the... They surveilled a land away. So let's play it safe. I don't want them to top deck anything that might help here. And now I have the mystical tether for something nasty they might have there. So it is just like a 3-color deck because they play double black and then they play these blue cards which are not necessarily that splashable. And definitely they play white as a main color. So they are checking my graveyard. What can I return? I can only return the medic, but the medic is with this thing. But the medic is just fine. Also, this is a mount, so I can actually have some tempo here. Play both of them. If I feel I don't need to. Well, let's see what happens when I try to do this. Okay, now it is gonna come straight to the battlefield. They don't seem to have any responses. And I might as well go for an attack here. I don't think they can deal with every creature I have here besides. This is still 2 power only. So they can block there, which is totally fine for me. If I can untap with these things, yeah, it's gonna be game over for them. Yeah, it's sometimes a problem with cards like the failed forwarding. This was just a, yeah, you sometimes get, of course, tempo with these things, but it was a card disadvantage card. It really didn't benefit them much that they bounced a thing. Now, of course, especially because I did have the removal for it, but even if I didn't, that was kind of like a not very useful. It's good against tokens, big tokens especially, as a sideboard card. But usually I don't find myself playing this card in this format at least. Alright, that is very fine. And the opponent is thinking about their mulligan. They did not mulligan, alright. Blood Hustler. I'd rather have this first. I'm not committing any crimes anytime soon. Well, at least not on the next turn unless I draw something specific. And I did. Okay. I'm going to probably attack for 1. Well, maybe not. Alright, I'm doing this, of course, before I play any Desert Stews. But this is a good target for Desert Stew, for sure. Oh, Skullduggery. Let's first try to go to attacks. Okay, no attacks then. I'll just play this thing here. They can't even tap it because it is a mount. Well, that's a perfect draw also with the medic around. Kinda don't want to. Well, let's, because this can't tap mounts, no. I'm gonna saddle this thing up and see what happens. Post combat I will use the contractor and eat the medic. Shoot the sheriff. Destroy target non-outlaw creature. I would rather give it indestructible. Another shoot the sheriff. I guess it's a 2 for 2 in that case. They might have their own. Let's see if they go for taps. Then I will only then use the Desert Stew, because they might have their own take up the shield, and I don't want to use the Desert Stew like that. Alright, this is better now. Now I have a good spot at the Desert Stew here. Alright, so how to do it now? Well, basically tell them that I have a trick of some kind, but what can they do? If they take the 2 from the Hustler, that's good for me. If they block it, it's even better, because I have the Skullduggery. So this thing is going to get +1/+1. This will be 2/3. This will grow because of the crime. So here and here. Pretty perfect turn, and I just hope they don't have a mass removal effect. There is a 6 mana rat in the format. That's triple white, and they have the access to that thing now. They pretty much need something. Oh, that is it. Oh man. Jeez. It's a mythic rare even. Ah, that hurts. That hurts a lot. I mean, I was basically winning the game, and then they had the one mythic rare and the triple white for it as well. Okay, this was a good draw at least, but I can still be annoyed because I don't think what kind of bomb rare would have been helping them otherwise. Holy cow, okay, they go for double. Well, I mean, let's hope they don't have anything for Vladimir. I'll get back something which is gonna be the Blood Hustler. It wouldn't be that bad to get the Contractor, but this just, you know, grows and grows. I can actually still beat them through the Wrath if they have actually nothing else. Or the Shoot the Sheriff was a very good one. So let's have this in case I have to use the Shoot the Sheriff here. Seems like it can be an ambush Gigapede. Well, let's see who they're gonna target first. They didn't need to do it like that. Wow. I mean, they could have let it happen first. The trade there. I guess I would have used the Shoot the Sheriff on the Gigapede in that case, but now they are under pressure here now with the Flyer. I think it's better to play the... I could use this ability, but it's quite slow to do that. I'm gonna do this. I can then sack the... If they have removal on this Shepherd, I can sack it for a card draw. I don't actually care if they attack with the 6-2. Be my guest, I'm at 18 in that case. Well, that's a heck of a card. I don't think I need to use it. I'm still, you know, a little bit scared about them having the trick I had, take up the shield. So there's no, I mean, I'm winning here anyway, so I can just do this and use the Blood Hustler, and I can use the Desert Stew on their turn if I really need to. Yeah, they seem to be flooding out. The Vrats could have been really nasty, but yeah. There's no need to do anything else than this. Consuming Ashes there. Let's draw a card. And then I can just use the Blood Hustler to finish them off. Plunderer, if they target themselves, they're gonna go to 2, and then the Hustler makes it 1, and then on my turn. Actually, I can use this now to kill them, and that's actually funny, because you can target the opponent with it. No blocks. If they have the lifelink trick, I can use the Desert Stew here. Yeah, this is what I was kind of saving this thing for. Alrighty, they are going to have to jump block both of these things. I didn't even want to continue. Understandably, of course, because I can use the Blood Hustler. Even if I didn't have this, I can use this on my turn and then on their turn. Actually, I could already use it twice. I mean, the counter works only once per turn, but of course you can use the 4-mana ability twice if you have the mana for it. So, yeah. Okay, this is an actual white-black deck. Final showdown. I called it, but now that I know it's there, it's gonna be different. Different, because I can actually play around it. Take up the shield is something I have. Although if they have 7 mana for it, they can, you know, if this has to resolve, of course, before the mass removal. But if they use the 7 mana version, the creatures will lose the indestructible and then get destroyed anyway. I mean, yeah, so it costs 7. It costs 8 to do all the modes. Anyway, what is my sideboarding gonna look like? I think the binding negotiation is quite valuable here. Skullduggery will be good. I mean, it's not great that they draw the card from this and I have to spend like a half a card to kill them, but it's still better to do it with 1 mana than use my actual creatures to trade with these guys. So Skullduggery will continue being in the deck. How about the Requisition Raid? I did not see enchantments or artifacts yet, so I can cut that to make room for the binding negotiation. Then other options, I could see playing another Corrupted Conviction here again, because it's just going to be fine in response to Consuming Ashes and Shoot the Sheriff. And if they have the Wrath and I have, like, you know, I will usually have at least a creature in the battlefield when they use the Wrath, so I can eat one of my guys. Now, who am I not gonna play here? I have only 15 seconds. This is actually not a lot of time. I'm going to not play the Mourner's Surprise. It is a good card actually, but it's too late. I made the choice. I think I will bring it back in the final game when I'm on the play. But yeah, the Mourner's Surprise does synergize with many of my cards, so maybe it was a mistake, but I had to do something. I liked the idea of having one of the Corrupted Convictions in there. Alright, this is a risky keep, but I can at least play the Blood Hustler and this, and hopefully I will draw some lands in the meanwhile. This is not the worst, because I can at least cast it. Okay, that's also not the worst, because I can cast that one too. They had no removal. Plunderer, alright. I think I will just clear the way here. Crowd my guy a little bit. Still no card draw. Another Plunderer. Yeah, they are gonna get some cards, and while I'm using my cards to deal with that. Don't think I'm doing it right now though. I guess I could, but if they have removal on the Hustler, it will be all kind of wasted. So I'd rather play another creature here. I'm gonna just play this. Not offer any trades, of course. Okay then. I'm playing the Omen Port Vigilance as well. And I'm not offering any trades. It seems like they don't have a castable. Do they find their planes? I have 3 creatures that benefit from committing crimes, and I have 3 crimes in my hand. They plotted a Rictus robber. Okay, this is a perfect spot for binding negotiation. See what they have. I can also, you know, choose to, make them. Okay, who's gonna get the menace? Probably it's gonna be the apothecary. Because this has double strike. So they have white. Not concerned about these things. Hollow Marauder, which they can be casting very soon. And they cannot make up a kill unless they draw a kill spell, so that they would get, benefit from the extra token. So Marauder goes away. And now I have a choice. this 7, I could deal 10 damage to them if I go for the Desert Stew right now. If I do this on their turn, then I would be getting another counter on this thing, and I think that's worth it. Because I won't get the counter, I've already committed a crime. It might be a little greedy because they would be at 5, but I think, okay, they never drew that planes, so that's just pretty miserable for them, of course, now. Yeah, this is game over now. This is game over, I have the removal for everything. Not that I even need it. But might as well go for the maximum. Yep. Well, I don't recall if they mulliganed, but this is... yeah, this is super annoying when they play 2 colors and have only, you know, what, 6 swamps, no planes, and they had a hand that, you know, could use the planes quite a lot. Has happened to me too. Interestingly, I haven't even seen my first big mythic rare. I am still at 2 match wins out of 2 matches, but I haven't seen this thing at all. This would have helped me even more in the games. Haven't really used Carvek either, but this could be the game if the opponent doesn't remove it. And they mulligan. This is a cool sleeve. Okay, I paused for a while, but they thought for a while and kept 6 cards in there. They already drew, so that's why they say why it says 7. Alright, I have a 2-drop, 3-drop. And 2 removal spells. This is actually quite nice. Blue and red. Well, Magda is actually a berserker, it's not a an outlaw. It's 12 berserker, so I can kill it with that thing, and then I can play Carvek. And then if I get to commit a crime so that, well, for example, the Mystical Tether at 5 mana allows me to also cast the Suit the Sheriff using the Carvek. But let's see if I get there. This is gonna eat removal very quickly if they have a way to remove it. And of course, they could have some red spell that does it. Show off. Okay, that's not as good in limited as it is in constructed, but it can still be pretty explosive. And this tells me they have the -1, -0 and draw a card. -4 if it's an outlaw. If they control an outlaw. They just went for that, which is fine, and now I can... If I can make a token with this thing, the contractor will be quite good. This is a bird wizard, so I can kill it with the Suit the Sheriff. So the best... I think they're just gonna remove one of my guys, but I mean... A man can dream, like they tap out for a creature that I will... Not necessarily this one, but I can use a Mystical Tether on that, and then of course Carvek will allow me to cast the Suit the Sheriff there. But we'll see how they go. Thunder Salvo on that thing. Well, you know, I can do it if I really want to, but... Let's see what the other options are. This is a pirate, so but this is not, so I can use the Sheriff. The thing is that I'm not that excited about using my removals, but this is a free way to deal with both of these things, and then I can still play the Baron Bertram. I'm going to go for it. I am going to go for it. Yeah, tapped out and all that. At least I don't have to worry about the show off doing some nasty business to my life total, because they could have like a lot of cheap cantrips and then I just lose in the air. While I have here still a bunch of cards here. to help me in the battle. And once Karvek dies, I lose the ability to use the Suit the Sheriff in that way, so that was also a good reason to go for it. And now, like you say, much better for me. They could have a counter spell, but I'm still gonna go with this, and no counter spell there. Well, I don't really want to take 4 in the air. But I think I'd rather play a creature here. And I will offer the trade. If they, you know, block, then they block. It's fine. Because by playing the tether on the next turn, I can of course benefit from this trigger as well. And if they try to kill the apothecary, I can at least draw a card using the Baron Bertram. If they just kill the Baron Bertram, well then they do that. Okay, that's perfect. That's a better target for my mystical tether. All is going really well. And even that for the Baron, this is insane. My draws are just like I couldn't Demonic Tutor any better cards probably here. Anyway, before we get too excited, let's do this. Exile this guy. Get lifelink. And they go down to 6. I go to 13. And I get an extra bonus from that thing. And I will take the Karvek. Probably, I mean, this isn't bad either. Karvek is double black. Yeah, I'd rather have mana up for the Baron's ability. Okay, still going for the attacks. What is the huge thing you're gonna have there? Nothing yet. And remember, you can always use these to target the opponent. So I only needed to deal 4 damage here. And then they will lose 2. And you can even sack the contractor himself. Okay, so blue-red. Magda. I have the Desert's Dues are good against Magda. That's enough. I can also use my Desert's Dues on the Slickshot show-off. So I actually quite like my build for against this particular deck, whereas against some green-based deck, the Desert's Due wouldn't be that great. Now, Requisition Raid goes away, and I will play a Corrupted Conviction. They have so much removal that I want to, you know, trade their removal into an extra card for me, because basically, yes, I do have to sack a creature and use the Corrupted Conviction to draw 2 cards. That's card neutral, but when you do that in response to an opposing removal spell, they also have to use that, so you will end up netting 1 card, and it won't cost that much mana for you, because this is just a 1 mana spell. Yeah, the negotiation usually is good against blue-red, because that can have a lot of instants. You might want to have know what's going on in their hand. So it could be useful. And yes, Collector's Cage, still not seen. Not that it matters, because I have won games despite not seeing it. The muscle. I could actually see that against red and blue that the muscle might be a little bit kind of clumsy. So I'm gonna use the negotiation here instead of that 5-drop. And that's that. Well, now I'm going to mulligan this Hand could work if I draw like planes in 2 draw steps, but it is very risky. I will go to 6 instead of keeping this 1 lander. If this was already at 6, I would keep it because going to 5 is so miserable. It's very hard to get a winning hand there, but going from 7 to 6 is definitely less difficult. This is a fine hand. It is a fine hand, but what is the card I need the least? I think it might even be the Brittled Bighorn. The Skullduggery might be useful, and I have already a 4-drop I can cast if I get there. So let's lose that mount. Okay. Do you have a land to play? Okay, I paused for a while. They played an island. Passed the turn. I get the land, which is good news, of course. I think I should mill myself because I have a card that brings me stuff back. Blue and red usually doesn't have, but that could be the slick shot, lock picker or whatever. So I don't necessarily. It could help them. Let's see. I'm actually thinking about the Vigilante now because I might use the Skullduggery on the next turn. And I can still play the Bloodseeker on the next turn if I do that because of the double swamp. Because this could be like a, 6 damage worth of double strike. I can also just play the Desperate Bloodseeker, target them after all to commit a crime and make this a double striking guy. But let's see if they just use Thunder Salvo to deal with the Vigilante. I wouldn't be surprised. Take the Fall doesn't deal with it. They have another spell for a 5 damage. Great train heist. So they're gonna choose to make what? Treasure token. That was aggressive for sure. Well, let's hope they're not gonna have a sick turn on the next turn, because if I had removal on this, that would have been great. But alas, I did not. So I have to now suffer whatever amount of damage it's gonna deal. I can give it -1/-1, but that's not gonna kill it, so I assume I'm not taking 15 here, but that was really aggressive. That was basically deal like a 2 extra damage and make a treasure token. That's what they did with this card. Usually that kind of a card isn't very good. Okay, this is... Oh, they're gonna cast a second spell and sack an artifact to copy the spell or deal damage based on its mana value. I guess they don't have a lot of... They would have to have a land drop and a 1 mana spell to have mana for the... Okay, well, they don't have an artifact to sack anymore, so that really didn't do much. Also, the Harrier's tricks, I can just deal with the Skullduggery. Shoot the Sheriff. This is a pirate, this is a wizard. Okay, I can use that to good effect now. Of course, I will be just attacking here before anything else. Can't kill the breaches with Shoot the Sheriff, but if they go for a block, of course it will die, but they must understand something is going on, so I can't expect them to be blocking here. What is this? This is insane. Look at this. I can plus this guy. I can minus this guy. And this is gonna get double strike, and that was just a 2 for 1. Oh boy. Now the question is... There's no question, I'm just playing it 3-2. You don't have to. I could just plot it, but I'm just gonna play a 3-2 for 3. Not gonna sack anyone. You don't have to. Sometimes it's the best use for this card. I'm not worried about the show-off anymore because the opponent just lost 2 of their creatures, and I still have a removal spell for a non-outlaw, such as this thing. They just played straight into a Skullduggery or whatever other kind of crimes I might have for the Vigilante. Okay, I'm taking 1. Yeah, like I said, this is not so good in Limited as it is in Constructed. It is still a good card, but not a bomb rare by any margin. Okay, skewering that. Yeah, post-combat because they wanted to use only 1 mana on it, but they missed the boost, of course. Demonic Rookers on that thing. That should have happened pre-combat. They actually lost like, what, 3? Alright. I'm going to decide if I want to just deal with this or am I gonna be scared about this dealing a lot of damage. I think I can be safe in a safe enough spot because they don't have that much mana. It's very unlikely that this would be dealing 15 total. I'd much rather apply pressure now and then untap with the Suitor Sheriff and the Conviction available. Hopefully I don't have to regret my decision here. But they have only 2 cards, like some cantrip of course can get them more things. This gets +2/+0 for any non-creature of course. Scorching Shot on the potential double striker, okay. That's cool. And there's no reason to use the Suitor Sheriff on my turn anymore because there's no benefit from committing crimes now that this guy died. So I'll see how much they're gonna deal. If they're just dealing 2, I'm of course. Yeah, well that dies to the Sheriff, so they can't actually even attack now. And that's that. Even got to take up the shield here. Alright. I don't know if the opponent really played it in an optimal way. Well, I'm actually pretty sure of it because it was scary when they played the Great Trine Haste the way they did, but actually they didn't benefit anything from it. It was definitely worth saving this for some other kind of a situation. Now they did have some decent cards in here, but I wasn't in any kind of trouble in this game. And so it went that I got a trophy, that's great, but I never got to even see this card. Not to mention casting it or using it. I never saw this. Did I have it in some hand? I mulliganed. I don't think I even did. But yeah, that didn't matter in the end because I won all the matches. But it is pretty funny that clearly the best card in my deck didn't contribute anything to my winnings. But yeah, it was a pretty decent black and white deck. Removal, decent amount of curve out potential, and some strong cards like the Karvik, which did something I have once, I think. The Apothecary I liked quite a bit. And of course the Baron Bertrams, so when you get to untap with these things, and especially if you can get the token at some point to get the extra vampire, that can be quite nice. But I think in the end I was lucky in my matchups in this event because I don't think I got any green based deck at all, and I think I was weak against those. My creatures are too small, not really a lot of evasion in this deck. And then my removal, like Desert's Dew, doesn't do much against those decks, although the Mystical Tether does, but I had only 2 of them. I guess the Suitor Sheriff can also deal with most of the things, but yeah, I think I was still lucky in the matchups in here to get the trophy somewhat easily this time. But that was a black and white deck. I don't know if I had one on the channel, at least not in a while, so at least I got to do something different. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.